Hey, it's Al at King Optic USA. I'm going to do a little overview of the Aimpoint H1 red dot sight. The H1 is part of Aimpoint's line of microsights, and that line also includes the R1 and the T1. The H1 sight has the matte black finish, as you can see, and the R1 has a silver finish, but otherwise they're identical. T1, however, has night vision compatible settings and also a deeper submersion rating. So unless you're going for a deep sea swim, I think the H1 should serve you well. The H1 is a very capable sight. It's compact, it's lightweight, it's durable, and it's got a long battery life. As far as size, you can see this is probably one of the smaller red dot sights out there on the market. It's only about 3.7 ounces in this current configuration. To prove its durability, Aimpoint reps demonstrate this sight by shooting a group, then tossing the sight across the ground, be it concrete or gravel. Then they remount the sight and shoot another group with no loss of zero. You can leave the H1 on for 5 years before you need to change the battery. The latest version of the Aimpoint H1 has the matte black finish, as you can see, though previous generations had a glossier finish. This one also comes with torque screws that attach the base, which is an improvement over previous generation sights or previous versions of the sight, which had these hex screws. Some of the hex screws tended to be a little soft, and when you inserted the hex key it would round it out, thus making it impossible to remove the base. Externally, the sight's pretty slick. There aren't that many controls. Here you can see the illumination dial, which also doubles as the battery housing. The illumination dial has settings from 0 through 12, though the useful settings are above 6. I find that anything below 6 is too dim in daylight situations to see the dot. Though while you're at the range, I think in bright daylight 8 to 10 should be your optimal settings. The only other controls are for the windage and the elevation adjustments. They're housed underneath these caps. The caps also serve as the key to help you turn the dials themselves. You can adjust them by flipping over the caps. Also included with the Aimpoint H1 is this tool that they give you. This end has the same two prongs, so if you find the cap too small, you can use this to make the adjustments. And then this end is a Torx bit driver that fits into the bottom Torx bit, so you can take off the base. If you're going to run the Aimpoint H1 on an AR-15, you're going to need a riser block. And this one happens to come from LaRue Tactical. It comes in a kit, and it's got this quick release lever, which is real nice for the Picatinny rail. It is advertised as return to zero, and the kit you get is a wrench and Loctite screws, everything that you would need to add this or mount this onto the Aimpoint sight. Here's an example of another base kit that you can buy to put on the bottom of the H1, T1, whatnot, so that you can get the correct height over the rail for the AR-15. This one happens to be made by Knight's Armament. It's a fairly new setup. It's got a quick release lever here, a riser, a bunch of spacers depending on what type of co-witnessing you want with the sight, and it obviously comes with screws and all the tools you need, as well as instructions. So again, we've got the Aimpoint H1 micro red dot sight here. It's a lightweight sight, it's small in size, it's durable, keeps it zero, doesn't get knocked out of its zero very easily, and has an incredibly long battery life of about 5 years when left on. This is pretty much everything that comes in the box. You get your tool, you get the bikini caps, the sight itself, and of course a battery. Thanks for watching the video, and you can check us out on the web at www.kingopticusa.com.